excited. I'm excited to see herO rocking his own face as a portrait. No shade to you, Solar and Rainer. He's another player. But anyway, here we are now going to be diving into our first map of our final match. It's going to be on Oceanborn. Oceanborn, which is what we call SpongeBob over here. And also, technically every SpongeBob character, now I think about it. I don't know why I singled out SpongeBob specifically. But that's what we're going to be going with. Here we go in the bottom right-hand corner map. Spawning all the way. In the bottom right-hand corner, we of course have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Team Vitality. I forgot about the LE, but no, I didn't forget about the LE because this is ESL Oceanborn. So I'm just gonna get jump right on top of that before anybody asks. We have the brightest of the pro gamers, Solar.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing his kind of new team. Was once CranKy Gaming, but now, oh god, what's it called?
Weibo.
Weibo Gaming. It is herO. Hold on, I need to read up on that.
Now that I hear it out loud, I hate it.
Is it Weeaboo Gaming?
Weibo.
I'm hearing Weeaboo.
W-E-I-Bo.
Weibo.
Weibo. Yeah.
Weibo.
Weibo. Weibo.
Huevos.
Now that I hear it out loud, I hate it. I hate it so much. CranKy, such a good name.
I know. We're gonna have to call it like WBG. And whenever I hear WBG, I think of like Warner Brothers Gaming. Like,
Warner Brothers Gaming. Yeah, exactly. That's already that's already taken.
Oh god.
That makes me hate it even more because there hasn't been a good Warner Brothers game in a while.
Smooth. For those wondering what we're talking about, it was announced, was it today or yesterday? Was it?
Like yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yeah. It was announced recently that CranKy Gaming, herO's team, or I guess X-Team, did partner, and renamed as they now merge with a different organization. They've renamed to Weibo Gaming.
Weibo?
Yeah,
Weibo. The website? Question mark? Not a search engine. That's Baidu.
Yeah, that's why
it's
herO
a streaming platform in China. Weibo.
Yeah, and that's why herO has the WBG clan tag and no longer has DKZ, as I guess DKZ isn't really a thing anymore.
Yeah, hey, it'll still be a thing in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And we went from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. No, we went from Triumphant Song Gaming to Dragon Phoenix Gaming to CranKy Gaming to Weibo.
I'm just hearing like huevo, like that's like it's like eggs in
Weibo.
Spanish. Huevo, yeah.
Huevo.
Yeah. Let's go.
That should be the mascot.
As for now, it's going to be a Stargate opener. First steps do move out across the map. It was a Hashgas full standard opener here from Solar. And we do fend Heroes and Epsilon for the time being. The Creep Tumor does survive. And it's going to be not an Oracle, a Void Ray opener from our Protoss player.
Yeah, I think the first time we're seeing a Void Ray opener. And I say that, but we also only had one other Protoss player that we casted so far. So I guess it's not too much of a surprise. Yeah, herO, he does like to play things a little bit safer in the very early game.
Yeah, I mean, Classic was in love with Void Ray openers last year, but that was last year. That was 2023. Now Classic is the new man. You know, post IM Katowice, Void Ray openers have fallen off quite heavily.
Slow it up. Yeah.
Slow it up. As we do see a very fast Twilight Council. Really fast Twilight Council here from herO. This could be one of two things. This could be Glaive Eps, or this could be really fast Blink for potentially a 3-base all-in. So we'll see what herO does embrace, whether we go for fast Blink or fast Glaives.
Oh, it's gonna be Glaives for now. Yeah.
There we go. And Solar's in the dark. Solar, he has yet to confirm what's going on. So far, it looks like a pretty standard build, but that's what's scary about the Void Ray opener. The Void Ray is designed to keep the Overlords away and to make sure that Solar doesn't know what comes next, whether it's a standard game or whether it's an aggressive game.
Yeah, and we'll keep our eyes on the production tab. Specifically, keep our eyes on how many gateways we see to see just how committed herO wants to be with with these glaives, Warp Prism, Void Ray, forced to come back home. But that's what I wanted to say is whether or not we'll see a Warp Prism if we do see a Robo Facility as well. It's going to be another bit of a tell here. Solar, once again, still in the dark.
Yeah, as we do pick up 3 drones here at the third base location. Adepts are spotted. Nice scout there from Solar. He does confirm additional Adepts, but is it enough to really tip him off here is the question. Roaches are in production, thankfully, and yeah, he knows he takes down the creep terminal, which means we can fully wall off.
Like so. It's going to make things a little bit easier here for Solar.
And again, it's so important that Solar was able to confirm this earlier. The Adepts, they commit to the shade, but the wall is up and running. They're going to try and bust their way in.
Yeah, but not getting too many results. The Oracle survives for now.
Yeah, the Oracle does survive. We throw down the Revelation. Behind this, working towards Blink and +1, but again, Blink is delayed. +1 is delayed. The rest of the tech is a little bit later here for herO, and these Adepts have yet to pay for themselves. Oh, we commit!
We do commit, and we do not get the target firing, but we will be able to shave off the link count fully. Transfuse on the Roaches, going to be able to make sure Solar has that defense still up and running. We commit to another shade into the main base. These Adepts are so low, but these drones are so juicy.
Yeah, they are. We need to get some damage done. There we go. 5 workers going down, but it looks like only 5 workers. We shade it into the natural. Never mind. We get up to 7 drone kills. That's an okay amount of damage, but here comes the counterattack. We have poked the bear. Solar, he has defended. With Drop Lords are on the way. Roach Speed is on the way, and Solar's ready for his own counter all-in.
He is. So saying, you thought I wasn't gonna roach push on Oceanborn this time? Well, I wasn't, but yeah, look what you made me do.
Yeah, this is your fault here. Look what you made me do. Now, Blink is finishing up in 10 seconds. Lings don't quite get this around yet. Nice Revelation. herO is aware of the aggression coming his way, but very little stack defense here at the third.
Yeah, barely any. Solar, or herO rather, putting it all on this fourth. But it's even less defensible as, yeah, it is a low ground. herO forced completely away from his base. I mean, he gets the high ground, but he loses his shield batteries. He loses his 4th base entirely.
Yeah, herO just misjudging this. They're trying to defend the 4th base, but the 4th is a lost cause. Stalkers are going down. As a result, the 3rd base needs to be secured instead. As, yeah, herO, he's committing. More shield batteries on the way. Cannons on the way. The Stalkers, they get completely shut down.
Yeah, completely surrounded by the Lings, just unable to blink away. Stalker Force goes down. It's 4 army supply left for herO. It's literally just these 2 Stalkers, which I want to believe. I want to believe in herO's micro.
True.
But we also have 90 army supply from Solar, and while it is a little bit inflated, it's still a massive deficit.
Yeah, and again, all that stack defense needed to be here at the 3rd base instead. herO being so greedy, expanding on the right-hand side as well. Boys are being pulled, trying to pull off a miracle defense, but alas, miracles don't always happen here as we bust on it. Overcharges popped. Bile's going to be connecting here on that shield battery, and herO, he's up against the wall.
He's up against the wall. He's crumbling. His wall is crumbling, and he is starting to fall.
Yeah, boys being pulled once again. 18 workers going down. The base earlier is going to be falling. The Lings do confirm. Well, they get eyes on the backup 4th base. But again, we're just a little bit too ambitious there as herO does come in with some charges from behind. Does get on top of the Queens.
And okay, able to take out a high energy Queen. Yeah. Still a lot of Lings, though. Still a lot of Roaches.
Yeah. 3rd base goes down.
Yeah. 3rd base does go down. Like so. 4th base. Not long for this world either.
Yeah, we lose the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. Every base does fall. We have a standing army, but here come the Lings. They go for the dive on top of their Stalkers, forcing out the blink. Zelds get cleaned up, and now we're going for the last bastion of hope here for herO. We're going for the natural.
Indeed, we are. We have a decent Sim City, and we do have that battery overcharge, but we also only have 2 bases. And barely a standing army left. Running out of room to blink back to as well.
Yeah, we are running out of room here as the overcharge was hopped earlier. The overcharge has run out. Lings, they bust into the main of all places, and the Roach army is still standing strong at the natural. Stalkers are blinking their hearts out. Again, herO trying to out-micro himself out of this situation, but there's only so much that micro can do for you.
Yeah, unfortunately. You can only micro as long as you have land and as long as you have space to micro, right? And herO is very rapidly running out of it.
Yeah, Solar's even spreading creep in his bases. GG gets called, and Solar takes game number 1.
And I gotta say, that was a very convincing win from Solar. That was a very convincing push. But I gotta say, I really loved what we saw from herO as he was staring down a wave, a swarm of roaches with barely any static defense. Decides, you know what? I'm gonna expand. I just the absolute balls on herO to do that. Obviously, it didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, it's not never. The math does not work. Is never not gonna work out, you know. Just numerically, the numbers are not in your favor. But I just liked the sheer cajones on herO.
The huevos, if you will.
The huevos.
There you go. Yeah, I agree. Very ambitious. The Chad move here of herO is that you see it all incoming and you just throw down a 5th. You throw down another Nexus because why not? Because
yeah.
Yeah, in the end, the overconfidence or the greed there of herO was his downfall against the all-in on Oceanborn. And I'm concerned because now we're going to be loading into Ghost River, another small map, another map known for its aggression. We got to temper ourselves a little bit here when it comes to how greedy we do want to be.
Or we just go even more aggressive.
True. We could just double down.
Out-aggressive your opponent's aggression.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Just punch harder.
Exactly. That's my life motto. Yeah. My mantra. Every day I wake up. Yes. Punch harder. That's advice to all of you in the chat. You get knocked down, you punch harder. Okay. We're spotting into Ghost River over here. Ghost River, of course, sounds like the title of a Goosebumps book. Or something similar like that. It'll be a pretty good, like, low-budget horror movie, I feel. I feel like there's probably a few Southeast Asian low-budget horror movies that have that name. I have to look that up later. Not LE, as we are on an ESL map, and over here in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left, we of course have our blue Zerg player coming down from the land of Korea. Of course, is going to be representing his team Vitality, the bear who has been poked and has been able to just counterattack to be up 1-0 in the specified grand finals. We have Solar.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. The Red Protoss representing, or at one point was representing Dragon Kaiser Gaming, now representing Weibo Gaming. It is herO. Weibo.
Weibo.
Weibo. I need to wrap my head around that. God damn it. WBG.
The B.
You know what I think of that? I think of like, I don't know, like Harry Potter or so. There we go. Hey, even Coca knows. Even Coca knows.
Yeah.
Any info?
What do I say? Weibo is the new sponsor or something like that? Yeah. Weibo Gaming merged this weekend for the Esports World Cup.
Yeah, as people
Weibo is a Chinese streaming platform.
Yeah.
From what I can gather.
Yeah, as people are explaining here, shout out to Coca. Coca, of course, the lovely French caster, casting over in French.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get used to it, I'm sure.
I refuse.
I don't know if it's quite. I don't know if it's quite like a union like that. Just because I know that for Vitality onside still maintain their name, right? Whereas for DKZ it's a straight up rebrand. So I don't think DKZ is keeping their name. That's the difference.
It's like a union, except instead of merging 50-50, it's just you know what? Dragon KyZ Gaming was a union. That was a union between Dragon Phoenix Gaming and KyZ Gaming.
True.
Right? So
yeah.
Weibo Gaming is more like a takeover.
So
Not a takeover, but
so
like,
you're saying it should have been like Dragon Weibo Gaming.
exactly.
Oh, Weibo KyZ.
Dragon Wei
Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon Wei KyZ.
Weibo KyZ Dragon. We need to go back to like 2011 when esports names were like that.
Big Weibo Dragon Gaming. That's all we
Big
needed.
Weibo, yeah. We need like no, Startail was actually a good name. It was another like questionable, like a too edgy for me name.
What, like GGG? Like Good Game Gaming?
No, GGG. No, GGG was classic. GGG was a good name. Yeah.
It was in his name. Yeah. True.
Yeah, it's Good Game Gaming. It had game and gaming right next to each other. So. Very ballsy. Good Game Gaming. It needs to be more like, Demon Esports or whatever it was called. My Insanity.
My Insanity was nice. Nice team.
My Insanity was a pretty good name, yeah. But also, it's like, we're insane.
Yeah, sure. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stargate.
That's actually. Yeah.
Go on,
Target opener coming out from. Yeah, I was gonna say that's now that I think about it, that's actually good for branding, you know. For the insane gamers, it's like, oh.
Once again, fast twilight council here out of herO. I'm curious if there's going to be once again into a glaive build or into Blink Stalkers. Both are viable. We've been very fond of Blink, and there it is. Blink is on the way. Now, I believe I mentioned before in game number 1 how if we rush into Blink like this, then this could be for a 3-base all-in. And 3-base all-ins from the side of herO are very common, where you throw down a proxy gateway in the center of the map and you go for an 8k 3-base all-in. It hits like a truck, and herO is very fond of it on this map, on Ghost Ship.
Yeah. Speaking of that proxy, I spy a cheeky little probe in the middle of the map.
This is a crazy location for the proxy, by the way. I was talking
right
here.
outside. What? The Overlord actually has vision of it.
The Overlord does spot it.
And Soul's gonna scout it anyway with the wings.
And that's a big tell as well. Like, I feel like herO has already shown his hand, and there we go, pylon once again. Usually we see the pylon here in the center, or maybe here on the other side of the tall grass, or I guess the seaweed or the grass bed. But yeah, usually it's a little bit more conservative, but there we go, herO throwing it down towards the center. This is going to be for the Blink all-in.
I was gonna explain to you how that was absolutely genius from herO, because he fakes the all-in and instead he plays greedy, but no, he's actually committed to an all-in. Just at a different location, so herO's just like pushing the boundaries tonight. He's just trying to see what he can get away with against Solar here, and so far it's not that much, as Solar has been able to kind of punish him for his presumptuousness.
Oh, as a massive save, this does catch all the lings. As a result, the queens are exposed. Tempting, and we do dive in, but we do force the transfuse. Transfuse will keep the queens alive. More stasis on the way. Now, the reason why all-ins are so popular here from the side of Protoss is because this choke point. This choke point is brutal, and lings have really hard time pushing in. Another stasis connects.
Yeah, it does connect with every single ling. This stasis is going to expire, but that is a full surround of stalkers.
Yeah, the lings, they're completely shut down. Roaches are amassing on the high ground, but herO rotates around towards left-hand side, no, towards that ramp once again, looking to catch out these lings. Spore Crawler's in position to help deny these oracles. Once again, is forced back.
He is. Is this a good idea to clear door? Yeah, I guess it would be. Because you still have that choke point regardless.
Yeah, against lings, you want the choke, but now with Ravagers, you want to give yourself some room to avoid the vials. So it evolves as the all-in continues, as your opponent gets more units here. Vials not quite going to be connecting. More gateways on the way. We're going into charge behind this, proxying the Forge.
Yeah, because that's where the pylons are.
True.
Where else are you going to put it?
And the all-in does continue, but to be fair, Solar, he is banking up the Roach Ravager. That's what's important right now, is that the Roach Ravager has been building up over the course of this game. Vial's going to be thrown down there. Ooh, do take down the Stalker.
Yeah, it's very important to take note of. Solar has not overextended at all. He has not gotten ahead of himself. He has just been preserving the Roaches and Ravagers that he has and getting more of them.
Exactly, just building up that critical mass of Roach Ravager, and as a result, he's holding the line. Vials not quite going to be connecting. herO pulling back, waiting for charge. Charge is a nice addition to this all-in. Stasis being baited out here, and Solar, honestly, his defense is looking quite strong.
Yeah, you mentioned how Charge is going to be really good against the Roaches and Ravagers here, but now we have Banelings. Now we have Banelings, and that is going to be a huge deterrent. It's going to cause herO to have to be a bit more careful with how he engages this, specifically with his Charge slots.
Yeah, as herO just is not gaining any ground whatsoever, trying to blink on forward, trading and mainly trading with Lings, not with Roach Ravager. Queens are still holding their own, Transfusers still coming into play, Oracle gets picked off, and taking down another Stalker.
Very nice. So far from Solar. No more Stasis Ward's going to be at play. I like this from herO. I think he scouted the Banelings, and so he's going to go around and going to try to flank Solar instead. Going to take out that fourth base.
I do like this. As you mentioned, the fourth base is now under fire. That's going to be less lava. Banelings are rolling in at the same time. Stalker is finally getting on top of some of these Roaches. Roaches are going down. A bit of a better trade here for herO, but he is being forced back once again.
Yeah, forced back 2 to Stasis Wards. Okay, one of them will pop on not that many Roaches.
Yeah, Zealots have cleaned up. Banelings did respond. As you mentioned, the Banelings were ready for this, and the hatchery is surviving, which means we still have Larva. We still have plenty of Larva to work with. Solar is still holding his own. More backup Banelings on the way. Roach Ravager is amassing. We did bleed out 13 Roaches in that fight, but that was 13 Roaches for 18 Stalkers.
Like so. And the longer this goes on, the better it's getting for Solar. He hasn't really been able to drone, but that doesn't really matter as his economy is looking about similar to herO's right now. Yes. It's all about just surviving and having enough units left over for a counterattack.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting to that point. We're almost there. You can see Solar's also in position to deny the fourth base, just in case herO attempts to expand. Speaking of, herO is attempting to expand, but a Ling is in position to make sure we deny that.
Like so. So now aware that herO, this all-in is going to come to an end very, very soon, one way or another.
One way or another, as Zelsay do close the distance. Some of these Ravagers looking exposed. We're finally getting on top of the Ravagers here. herO, not a bad trade, but once again, we take some piles to the face. Reinforcements are on the way. Solar still barely holding on. herO trying to transition out of this, but that fourth base is still a ways away.
Still a long ways away. Still getting chipped out away at with that one Ling, and now Solar, he's unchained. He's broken free from this contain. Maybe getting a little too ahead of myself, as herO still has a pretty healthy Stalker count. So Solar still needs to wait for the next round of units before pushing out.
Yeah, he's being careful. He doesn't want to get caught out by those charge lots, so slow and steady here for Solar, forcing out those blinks. At the same time, Zell's trying to catch reinforcements, and they do manage to catch a couple of Roaches here and there. Again, herO trying to pull Solar apart.
Yeah, so far the Zealots are able to get into the main and are able to catch a couple of units here. And there, ooh, the Biles land on Solar's own army. Not a great start.
I'm getting a little bit concerned. These Ravagers are looking a little bit more vulnerable as they're bleeding out a lot of Roaches, but herO is being forced back. At the same time, Big Ling counterattack. That's a kill on the fourth base, making sure that herO cannot expand, cannot transition.
And now Solar has one fewer thing to worry about. He just needs to, once again, go back to defending.
Exactly. Again, his fourth base is fully saturated. Worker counts are similar, but you can see that herO, he has inefficient mining. You know, he has more workers than there are mineral patches to mine from. He does need another base to sustain himself, and Solar is almost maxed out.
Yeah. Some 175 supply. I was half a second too late to call it the 169, but anyway. Yeah, Solar's about to max out, and once he is, he's going to have a much... Not even a much easier time, just gonna have everything he needs to go across the map and deny everything. Huge Baneling run by, gonna be able to take up pretty much the entire mineral line. And Solar still has more than enough units at home to defend. All herO has is all he's got. You can see the income plummeting right now for the Protoss. GG is called. Solar gonna be taking game number 2, finding himself a match point.
GG, well played. A beautiful defense there out of Solar, able to keep up with herO, but I do believe that a big reason for this is, one, herO is known for going for these all-ins on Ghost River in PvZ, but more importantly, herO showed his hand very early on with that pylon. He just screamed out to Solar, "I'm all-inning you, Papi," and he's like, "Oh my god, okay, thanks for letting me know. I guess I'll get ready." So yeah, that was a rough moment for herO with the initial pylons, and Solar was able to get prepared because of that.
Indeed, he was. I'm really liking what we're seeing from herO tonight so far, though. He hasn't been able to win yet, but he just woke up today and chose violence. He's again, it does feel like he's kind of pushing the boundaries of what he can feasibly get away with, at least in PvZ in this series against Solar, and so far Solar has been able to meet that and has been able to kind of show him what the boundary is.
Yeah,
here's open.
It's not even just aggressive play out of herO. It's been very brazen, right? It's been very very bold.
That's a really good way of describing it. Just very brazen. Just I don't care if you can scale me. I don't care.
Yeah.
If there's that many roaches knocking down my door, I'm just gonna get another base.
It's like, Papi, you should care. You should.
What? I don't care. I'm dying. I don't care. I'm falling into lava. Lava, not larva. And my legs are melting off? Like, I don't even care. Zero damns given. Anyway, we're going to be continuing our series on what is hopefully not, but possibly might be the final map of our grand finals here on Site Delta. The excavation, I think is what we've decided on. Over here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right, we have our blue Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Team Vitality, not Samsung Fingerboom, as Kuro is pointing out in the chat, although he used to be on Samsung Con and Samsung Galaxy. No longer, as they don't exist anymore. Nor does Samsung Fingerboom. I have to question if that ever existed. Anyway, we have our blue Zerg player. It's Solar.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. Down in this series, he needs to fight back here and now to try to have a chance of forcing the ace match. He needs your support in the chat. He needs to calm down a little bit as well, just a little bit. It is herO.
He could calm down. I kind of don't want him to.
I get what you're saying. You're like,
if he wants to win,
you're like, you know what? If
he
you want this Protoss player not to be herO, sure, you can
exactly,
tell him to calm down. You can tell him to take things a little bit easy and temper himself. But it's herO we're talking about, Papi. You know, he doesn't close his walls. He leaves them open. He doesn't care if you scout the all-in. He's gonna all-in you anyway. That's why we love him. You know, he's a crazy player. He finds success with it. Sometimes a little bit less success, but you know what? It's beautiful. It's herO.
Yeah, he will stare down death. He will stare death in the face and say, what are you gonna do? Stab me?
And then
what are you gonna do? Kill me?
And then he gets stabbed. That's the end of the story. That's. But it's cool though, you know. Like it is. Yeah. You know, we gotta respect it.
I wish I could have that. You know? I wish I could care less about living.
Oh my god, you're an animal, Pop. You're an animal. Calm
Everything
down.
I wanna be. If I play Protoss. But I don't. I play Terran, so I still have that survival instinct in me.
Yeah, I'm a Zerg. I'm always afraid. I've always got the fear. But for now, we are going to be sending back these events.
I play Terran, that's why I just stay home all the time.
True. for now, Lings, they get across the map, and we're going to trade quite well here as one adept falls. We almost get the other, forcing the pulsar beam to be activated back at home defensively. So not a bad start by Solar, able to just keep the adepts pinned back and wasting energy as oracles are moving out across the map. And for the time being, this looks like a much more standard build.
Yeah, for now. So we're getting our Forge, we're getting our Twilight Council, so Blink is most likely on the way. herO doing herO things, great control with this Oracle, gonna be able to catch a couple of drones, gonna be able to catch some larva.
Yeah, 3 drones, a larva, pretty good damage so far here by herO. When it comes to the follow-up, the reason why I say this looks like a standard game, and it is a standard game, is this time it's not just a Twilight Council, it's a Forge. The Twilight Council is delayed, Forge is prioritized, +1, should be +1 in Blink, maybe +1 in Charge, into a 3-base economy towards a 4th base. Like, this looks like we're settling into something a little bit more by the book here. For now, at least. We'll keep an eye on here.
Oh, we have calmed down.
Yeah. You know, he just had to get it out of his system, you know? He was... just had to, you know, get it out, get it over with, and now he's like, okay, now we can play some StarCraft. Let's go.
Yeah. It's healthy to get it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to keep it in.
Exactly. You might die in the process, but you know what?
Yeah.
If you gotta die, if you die, you die. Yeah? Just gotta get it out.
It's the herO.
It's healthy for
It's the herO way. It's the herO way. As the Oracles, they dip between bases this time, a little bit less successful, but they should get eyes on the would-be 4th base of Solar. We do have a bit of a gateway explosion behind this. Interesting. We are getting up to 8 gateways. We have yet to take gas. Okay, there we go. I was like, we have yet to take gases. Gases are now on the way, which means we are taking up, which means we can use this to take up into a Temple Archives or a Robo and a Colossus production. We have options with how herO wants to go about this.
Indeed, we do. We're just trying to figure out what the least calm way of, the most no-chill way of going about this would be.
I mean,
DTs.
Sure, we could see like a carrier rush, maybe like rush into like a Tempest rush, maybe.
Yeah, we could. But meanwhile, though, we're seeing Solar be our first player to rush Tech as the infestation pit has been thrown down. He's got a lot more breathing room this time, which I'm sure he appreciates.
Yeah, exactly. As the army is going to be moving, I did notice it was like 5:20 lair timing, so a bit of an earlier lair timing leading into the first early infestation. Meanwhile, the wall is so far a wall, no ship behind this, but we do have a warp in, we do fully wall up, and we do hold the line. Meanwhile, across the map, herO is gaining ground. Not many roaches to defend, Lings are being shaved off, and we do look to deny the 4th base.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much Solar can really do about it right now. He's going to try to chase away the Stalkers, but if we do end up committing, I can't see herO losing this engagement.
Yeah, as herO is gaining more ground, Queen does fall. We did miss a transfuse. Ling's trying to trickle on in. Roaches, we barely have any of them. Solar is in a bit of trouble here. He's bleeding out his army. He may not just lose the base, he may lose more than that.
Yeah, he may lose his life. This game. As huge Stasis Ward's going to connect with the majority of the roaches, actually. A lot of these Lings as well are stuck behind the Queens. We see a couple of transfuses get thrown down, but we're running out of energy.
Yeah, and again, Solar, he was a little bit too greedy. He was taking him into an infestation, into a hive as well, but the army is here and now. GG gets called as a herO breaks on through, and herO puts a point on the board. GG.
GG, yeah. Just had to take a little bit of a step back in game number 3. He got it all out of his system. He was doing normal Protoss things this time, and it was enough to defeat Solar.
Yeah, this was a really interesting build. So herO did go into 8 gateways, so it was an 8-gate aggression again, but this time he took extra gases. This time he was taking up into +2, into upgrades, into charge, into a 4th base. But because the initial opener looks standard, that's why Solar cut roaches. He didn't make as many roaches. He was working towards a 4th, was droning and taking into hive when he needed an army. herO did catch him off guard.
Yep.
So yeah, really nicely done.
Yeah, he thought that herO was gonna chill this time. No.
Yeah.
Maybe for a couple of minutes in the early game, but later on, Oh.
Yeah, herO, he's still committed to a high gateway count. He did catch Solar off guard. There wasn't even a proxy gateway. He was reinforcing from across the map,
There was
and he was still breaking
he had
through.
no robo facility.
Yeah.
He was getting 2 towards the end there, but they didn't even complete.
Mhm.
And when the game ended.
Yeah, no prism, no proxy pylons, just going for the long route instead, and it did eventually catch Solar off guard. Did break through. GG, well played. herO fights back. We have a series.
We do have a series on our hands. We do have game number 4 loading up here. And speaking of 4, here we are now on game number 4. Funny how that works. Here we are on Amphion, where the amps are P on. They're
Excuse me?
amped. They're the amps. They're. We're over here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left, where we have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea, still on match point 2-1 in this best of 5 series grand finals. He's going to be representing Vitality Gaming, Vitality Esports, Vitality Onside. He's vital. We have Solar.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player putting a point on the board, fighting back in this series, representing his new team, Weibo Gaming, WPG. It is herO. herO moving out across the map, being as long as possible. He was attempting to force the unnatural, but Solar did go for a 15-15. Very safe opener. The hatchery gets thrown down on location, and we're calming things down as we load into Amphion.
For now. You know,
What
Amphion, a little bit of our quirkier maps in the map pool. Yeah. Have some of these mineral walls.
Yeah, we get the mineral walls on both sides of the map. We have very defendable third base locations as well. So I was gonna ask, when you think of Amphion, what do you think of? When you hear Amphion, what do you think of?
When I hear Amphion, electric eels.
Electric eels?
Something because amp.
Right, like an amphitheater?
Or jellyfish. Oh, an amphitheater will work.
Okay. Electric jellyfish?
Amphion. Amphoras, which, if I remember my asterisks correctly, is the jugs that were used to carry wine.
Okay. I see.
Amphitheaters, that's a potential thing as well, because, you know, we have boardwalks here.
Yeah, apparently, as I looked it up, Amphion is like a brand of speaker. It's like a bunch of speakers.
Did they get sponsored?
Did
they sponsor this map?
I don't think so. There's just a bunch of speakers online when I look up Amphion. There you go.
I mean, they named themselves Amphion. It's gotta be after something.
Yeah. Like maybe like amphibian?
Yeah, yeah.
It's where
Frog.
the lizard comes in, yeah, the frog.
Yeah. The
Animorph?
Animorph. Yeah.
I think that's before your time. I don't know if you...
It is.
Yeah.
I've only heard legends and tales of it.
Okay. Okay. It was a big thing in the early 2000s. It's big. Yeah. Don't watch it. I could hear the wheels turning. You know, I could watch it. You know, I wrapped up my teen dramas. I could watch another teen drama from the 2000s. Time to turn on the Dawson's Creek.
I could.
No, you don't need to.
Yeah, it's available on streaming somewhere.
It is on Netflix, actually. Unironically, it is on Netflix.
I could.
You don't need to watch.
I'll just watch Home and Away.
God damn it.
As things are calming down a little bit.
Is
so
Home and Away on Singaporean
typical
Netflix?
Things. It should be, if it isn't.
Do you know what home and away is?
It's the whatchamacallit.
Huh?
It's a soap opera.
How do
It's
you
been
know
going
what
on
home and
for
away is?
20 years. I saw Superwalk.
Okay. Okay. Because I know Steel knows, because for some reason, like, they also play in where Steel is. Like, it's for some reason he knows like neighbors.
In Israel.
Yeah, and home and away.
No, I think he was telling me that back in the early 2000s, American shows were too expensive to syndicate, so
Yeah.
they just bought Australian shows
Yeah,
instead
so they just have everything
and
Aussie.
showed them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy. We have that connection.
like American and British shows were too expensive, but they still needed something for the English channels.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, Australia. They don't really speak English there, but you know, it's good enough.
He understands what Bondi
Can't
is.
tell the difference.
He knows.
Exactly.
The
One
server.
rescue.
As I get into
Border Patrol.
True.
Which actually, which that is shown here every now and then.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
There you go.
As we're getting into our opener here, it's a Stargate opener into Oracle into +1 and Blink, so nothing too crazy, very standard opener so far, but we did say that hero's opener last game was quite standard and it led into 8 gate aggression, so we'll keep an eye on the gateway count. No explosion yet, as hero is expanding it quite aggressively here towards Solar.
Yeah, getting a bit of a launch pad here. We do have a delayed robo facility, so once again, if hero is planning on being aggressive, this is a fantastic way of going about it without that support of a War Prism. So we're trying to deny or delay this fourth as much as possible, but thankfully for hero, he does have an army. He does still have his oracles.
Does have those oracles. Here we go. The center base is now underway. It's not going to be denied. It was honestly a really greedy base taken here by hero, but alas, it does stand strong. Meanwhile, back at home, Solar is getting into his fourth, is attempting to drone up, attempting to keep up with the expansions of hero, which is a crazy thing to see here in his EVP.
Yeah, normally we're expecting the Zerg player to be expanding much quicker, and the Protoss player being behind one base for a while and just keep him up that way.
Yeah, exactly as the Lings, they dive on top of the Stalkers. Looks like Stalkers are going to be going down, but we're bleeding out a lot of Lings for this. 2 Stalkers do get picked up, but at the cost of 24 Lings.
Yeah, not a good trade at all. Sure, we're trading mineral units for gas. We're trading minerals for gas. But at a certain point, you need to look at how many minerals you're trading for, how little gas.
Oh, yeah. Exactly, as oracles, they do dip in, they do manage to catch a couple of these tumors, but really we're just laying the stage here for our eventual timing. We have 5 gateways on the way. Temple Archives is done. Archon production charges well. Hero, he's building up, massing up for a massive timing, and Solar, can he keep up back at home? You can see Solar, he's working towards lurkers, but I feel like Hero should hit first.
Yeah, I mean, he's planning to. He's got his Archons, he's got his Warp Prism, and he's going for a bit of a multi-prong with this. So he will be able to confirm that hive, and once he does, I mean, it's like a flip is going to switch, right? He knows I need to take you out sooner rather than later, because if not, I'm going to have to deal with the Lunkers, and nobody wants to deal with Lunkers.
Nobody likes the Lunkers, but here we go. Massive warp into the main base. The Prism is within range of the Spore. The Prism is going to be going down, but we're going for the Hive. Oh, for a moment, we're going for the Hive. Instead, we do focus down the Hydras, and the Hive is going to be going down. I'm not too sure we can save it.
I mean, without any Queens in position, there's no way. We mostly only have Lings here, which are just going to melt to the Archons, like so. Hero going to be losing his drop here. He's going to be losing both his Archons, all of his Zealots, but it was well worth it to get the Hive, to prevent any Vipers from coming out, to prevent any Lurker upgrades. We can see Sola now trying to get a Hive elsewhere, but he first needs to morph that hatchery into a lair, and then morph it into a Hive, and that's just going to take so long.
It's going to take far too long here. Again, the Lurkers, we're going to be stuck with Lair Tech Lunkers, Papi, and that no one wants, not even the Zerg player, as, SageStrike going to be catching some of these Hydras. Again, we're just backing up, amassing more of an army. Hero taking a 5th base, while Solar is stuck on 3, as he did lose the main.
Like so.
And herO looking to snowball out of control again, going to be catching some of these hatches for free. Do we have any lurkers? We do not. 0 lurkers, and we got 3 lurkers on the way, but they're going to be without upgrades. It's going to be that much easier for herO to overwhelm and to break on through, as he is not giving Solar the time he needs.
That he is not. Lurkers trying to be morphed in, but they will get caught before they even hatch. They try to burrow, but there's no adaptive talons. We have revelations, and everything Zerg is gonna melt. GG is called, and herO gonna be taking us to our ace.
GG, well played. A very interesting build here out of herO. You don't see this too often, to rush into a very fast 4th base to take a bit of an economic lead, an economic boost early on, to eventually lead into a later timing. You saw that Solo was getting ready for a longer macro game, but before he was ready, before he had his lurkers, herO did strike just as Solo was at the most vulnerable. And yeah, that was a wild game. That was a wild push.
Very wild push. It's very interesting to see so far in our series that it feels like herO has always been the aggressor, right? But whenever Solar doesn't think hero's gonna be aggressive, whenever herO like delays his push by just a little bit, Solar just thinks, "Oh, I'm safe. He's not pushing at me, and we can go into the late game." No.
Say, hold on. Are you telling me, Yako? Are you telling me that if herO doesn't telegraph his aggression early on and show off to his opponent that he's going all in, that he's able to have more success? Is that what you're?
I think so. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, what I'm trying to say is Solar, whenever he doesn't have to, whenever he's not getting attacked, he doesn't feel like he's gonna get. He doesn't feel like he's getting attacked, right? So, you know, it feels like Solar thinks that he can get away with a lot more than he actually can. It's like, you know, when the threat isn't imminent, is there really a threat?
Is there a threat?
We'll find out as we load into our final map of the evening. Gonna end things off here on Alcyone, the alkaline map, which is either, depending on how you look at it, a frog or a very fat, very short-tailed manta ray. Potentially, it's also a thick. Okay, fat's not the right word. It's just thick.
Yeah,
just,
big bones.
Yeah, big bones. Yeah, just little chubby. Pleasingly plump. As over here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left, we have our blue Zerg player coming down from the land of Korea. He found himself on match point, but now is finding himself in a lot of trouble as we are in the ace. He is going to be representing Vitality Gaming. We have Solar.
Team Vitality, yeah.
Team Vitality, look. I was like, it's a gamble between whether it's Vitality Esports or Vitality Gaming. It's just neither, actually.
It's spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alcyone. We have our South Korean Protoss player clawing his way back into this. He was down 2-0, now tied up 2-2. One more game, and he will be our champion. It all ends here. It all ends on Alcyone. Representing his new team, Weibo Gaming, it is herO.
WebO Gaming. Yeah. WebO. That could also work out, yeah. It's a web of games.
There you go.
Or a web of gaming.
There you go. But yeah, just touching on what you mentioned before, I do agree in the sense that both in game 3 and 4, Solar assumed that it was a longer macro game, and we saw Solar both times rushing into a faster lair, into an infestation pit, into a hive, into lurkers, and both times he was denied that before he could really get any of that underway. Now it's time for Solar to calm down. Clearly, Solar, we need to calm things down. We need to embrace Lingbane Roach Ravager a little bit more here. Even if we scout something more macro-oriented, it's hard to make that call against herO.
Do we need to calm down, or do we need to be more anxious for Solar, right? Because, like you were pointing out, he just doesn't... He's cutting a lot of corners in his defenses. He's thinks that he can get away. He feels like there's a lot more time. He feels that he has a lot more time than he actually has, is what I'm trying to say, to get into that late game. This wall is interesting with the pylon placement.
You see here, he's screaming out, "Bane bust me," but Solo's not gonna take the bait. Not gonna take the bait, right? Nah.
Right?
It's fine. For those that are curious, it is much more standard to throw down the pylon further back. Otherwise, if you leave it exposed like this, you are vulnerable to an all-in or to some kind of Bane bust. But that's not really actually seen too often at this level of play. I feel like it takes a certain kind of player to go for a Bane bust, like Dark or Shin, you know?
Yeah. You know, more of an ape type of player. Solar, a bit more of an intellectual, not one to ape it up too much.
Yeah. Which is maybe the problem.
100%, absolutely. He's thinking way too far ahead. He's using logic in a world where in a realm of no logic, in a realm of chaos.
Right. You know? Yeah. You know, you're sounding like the European Zerg players, right? The European players right now, when they keep away, they're like, this doesn't make any sense. You know, Dark, like he just makes roaches at random times. He just kills you. Like these damn Korean Zergs. What are they doing? It makes no sense. And then they die.
Just, it's not supposed to.
He can't attack the.
Question,
yeah. The
he
adept
can't
can't
attack
be
it.
attacked.
Yeah. But the timing of that made me think that he's just responding to us and what we're saying.
Yes.
He just could hear us.
Good God. But yeah, the adept was in the smoke, in the smudge, if you will, and the Lings actually could not attack it at all. So Solo with a bit of a question mark there.
A little bit of that question mark going on there. And actually, yeah, I was saying that Solar might be thinking a little bit too much, but maybe he actually is, unironically. Once again, we have to go back to what Olivero's saying, you know, how he quote-unquote fixed his PvP
he still
was
can't
just
do
by
it.
not...
No, okay, we're good.
Okay, he has vision now. Yeah, he's got some vision now.
Yeah.
Such a good placement.
Going
back to...
So technically, hold on, very quickly here. So I guess if you're on the exact hex of that smoke screen, like you have to like push yourself onto that one hex to be able to attack, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Specifically, and because it also is in range of the Zelnaga tower, you're also denying your opponent from getting that.
Yeah.
So it was.
Go on.
But as I was saying earlier, Olivero was saying that the way he fixes TVP was when he was given that advice by Maru of saying, yeah, just don't overthink it. Don't try to think about how you're going to get one up against your Protoss opponent. Don't think about how you're going to counter what they're going to throw your way. Just do your own thing and beat them.
Just do,
yeah.
There you go. Speaking of, herO is going to be moving out with his Stalkers now. herO is not too committed with this. He's applying pressure, yes, and once again, we're rushing into the fast hive. We're working towards Hive Tech. Infestation bit is done. Solar, once again, looking to get into Lurkers. Now, what I will say here is that herO, likewise, is macroing. herO is working on a 4th base. Charge +2. Robo just finished up as well. I do think that this time Solar should get away with this.
Potentially. And we'll see. That all depends on herO, right? That all depends on whether or not herO decides to let Solar get away with this. Because he scouts the base, I don't believe he was able to get into the main with the Oracles. I'm not sure if he scouted the hive yet, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think he's out of the hive or the infestation bit yet either.
Yeah, but once he does, then I'm sure, like, once again, that flip is going to switch in his brain.
I'm sure it will, as once again here he's reinforcing from across the map. Luna bust in. Roaches are going down, but we do have a bit of a stronger force, but the hatchery is going to be falling. We do trigger the shields, we do trigger the overcharge. Overcharge the stasis trap, but the hatchery does get picked up.
Like so. So already a pretty good start here for herO. So going to be expanding elsewhere though, so not the biggest deal. It's a wall, not a wall. But we're gonna get some reinforcing warpins regardless.
Yeah, the Oracles, they get back just in time as well. The Lings are fended off. And herO, with this rotation, can now start to threaten this southern base as well. And yes, even though he's denying these 4 bases, he is not going for the kill. He's not punishing the 3rd. And the tech is done. We are indeed getting away with the Lurker tech.
I can't believe we're witnessing it.
It works.
I wasn't sure we were allowed to witness this. But we are. We're getting it.
Is this legal? It's not legal, Bobby. But again, we're on Alcyone, right? One of the more mech-oriented maps in the map pool. You know, we see a lot of longer games just because of the defensive nature of these bases.
That makes sense. The way you were going with that, I thought you were going to go, we're in Alcyone, you know, there's a law.
What do you mean?
We're in the Mafia now.
That makes sense if we were in Crimson Court, right? Or maybe everywhere else but Crimson Court.
Oh.
Also an air attack.
Also an air attack coming down. herO also looking to get to a bit of a longer game.
Yeah, we're working towards that Sky Toss at the same time. Stella dropped towards the main or towards the 4th base. Threading the mineral line, but not achieving too much here as Solar has stabilized and has situated his 4th, 5th base on the way. herO does slip in, and we're going for the Queen. Oh.
Not quite able to get that, but we will have confirmation at the very least of the Lurkers, the Hive. We have another little warp in to just try to disrupt the tempo here of Solar. The drones go down here and there, not massive damage, but enough to keep him on his toes.
And 3 workers go down. We force a cancel on these morphing in lurkers. Not too bad as herO is able to apply pressure to the would-be 5th base. Lings will have a hard time trickling in, and herO, once again, we should be forcing that cancel as a hatchery. Oh, don't let it finish.
Doesn't finish, will get cancelled right at the end here, so a bit of a delay, but not a kill, which is all that matters.
Exactly. As that Prism gets back into the main base, Zealous wreaking havoc. It looks like the Queen did go down. Drones are falling as well. The spawning pool is under fire.
Will it go down? No, it shouldn't. We'll survive. We'll be able to get adrenal glands later down the line, and we will be able to continue morphing in Zerglings. Meanwhile, it's been a long time since I saw this from herO specifically, but carriers have arrived.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where herO, he's been doing such a great job at punishing and rotating and keeping Solar busy. Even though we got into Lurkers, we've been having a hard time defending, and herO has bought the time he needed to get into Sky Toss. How do you answer Lurkers with Carriers, with Tempest? And Solar's on a bit of a timer, and he doesn't know. Solar, he has not scouted the main.
And he has not, and honestly, who would ever expect herO to go in a late game like this? As we have a little bit of...
Who is it? Who is it?
Latency.
Who is it?
It's not me.
It's not me. We saw Wardy lagging earlier. Oh, or maybe someone else.
Actually, so bad.
Game resumed.
It's actually so bad, but I pronounce it so bad. Anyway, Solar going for his max out push. He has Lurkers. He doesn't quite have his full suite of upgrades, but he has a maxed out army, and he can start to try applying pressure on herO. herO's got plenty of High Templar. Gonna be able to use these storms to zone this away for now. Still needs a little bit more time to get his mothership, to get his carriers.
Yeah, massive storms here on the Lurkers. Carriers are going to be revealed. High Templar, there are plenty of them, and we do get a storm on the Hydras as well. And with this herO, he's holding the line. We can see Solar does at least get on top of the gold base. Gold is going to be denied, and herO takes some spines to the face. So has to be very careful with how he does engage with the Lurkers. We still only have 3 carriers. We need an extra wave. We still are lacking that critical mass.
Yeah, we still need to max. Well, we actually maxed out right now, but we don't have all of our carriers just yet. We do have a good cloak on top of all these stalkers, so we'll be able to take out the majority of the Lurkers here.
A big chunk of Lurkers go down. They get trapped as well, and massive blink there from herO, able to shut down. How many Lurkers was that? That was 12 Lurkers.
I had to double check. Yeah, I had to double check myself. Where I'm like, we're losing the majority of Lurkers. We are. That is not something that normally happens.
And what's terrifying, after the loss of all those lurkers, the carriers. Now the reinforcing carriers have arrived. We're pushing on board. We're gaining ground. Lurkers are falling one after the other. Without any lurkers, the High Templar, they can go to town on this army. Massive storms, and Solar, he's falling back. He's crumbling.
And the yoink on the mothership was nice, but that's honestly the least of Solar's concerns right now. The storms do thin out the Hydras, and there are more than enough Archons, Immortals, and Carriers to clean up everything else. GG is called, and herO will be able to get the full reverse sweep, taking that series 3-2 and becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. Oh boy.
GG, well played. Congratulations here to herO as he pulls off the reverse sweep. He calms down, and if you remember, in game 1 he went for Glaive Adepts as a follow-up. In game 2 he went for a 3-base all-in. Very aggressive builds in game 1 and game 2, a little bit more obvious builds as well. He got shut down in the process, but it was in game 3, 4, and 5 where he took a bit of a different approach, a bit of a more macro approach, some later timings instead,
if you will.
Yeah, and you could argue that he kind of baited Solar into exposing himself, right, into being a little bit too greedy and tech heavy, and punishing him there instead.
Yeah, without a doubt. That was a series. I'm thoroughly entertained by what I saw. Just, yeah, herO coming right out the gate with those bold and brazen builds, just trying to push the limits and see what he can get away with against Solar. And once he got that out of his system, once he was staring defeat in the face, then mellowed out a little bit, then did things a little bit more by the book. Still had a little bit of that herO flair coming down with those timings, with those pushes. But regardless, yeah, played a bit more standard and found a lot more success with it. GG. We even got to see late game coming out from herO, which is not something we see from him too often.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, no rush 15, like max out late game. It was herO still being very active, right? Like he was very aggressive with the Zealot drop into the main, with the Stalkers rotating between bases and denying hatcheries. Like herO was doing the best he could to just keep Solar busy, keep him pinned back, to allow himself to get into carriers, which means that Solar misses timing, right? Like ideally the Zerg player wants to push out with their Hydra Lurker and their Hydra Lurker Viper before there are too many carriers, and they can be the aggressor, right? And they can push in, but which is what we saw from Raynor in Raynor series against Classic, if you remember, on Alkione, on this map. And yeah, it's something that herO was able to avoid and herO able to take control of.
Indeed, it was. Once again, just, I would say, proving the mantra, once again, you don't need defense, just punch harder.
True.
You don't need to block, just punch harder.
herO's your idol, he's your spirit animal. You were right earlier, herO, in this series, he was down 2-0, he stared at death in the face, and he punched it in the face.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Stab me? I'll stab you. And he just punched him in the face. Death is like, you didn't even have a knife. What are you talking about? Why'd you say that? The herO wins. There you go. Caught him off guard.
Yeah, he didn't have a knife, but he still stabbed him. Look at that, yeah.
Oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO, an amazing event here. Again, I do recommend watching the VODs we had. I mean, every single series was down to the wire, and yeah, some really good matches, really good games.
Yeah. Really, absolutely. Really some of the slickest play I think we've seen from Raynor especially, which again, it's a little sad that we weren't able to get that Raynor versus herO grand finals here. Solar had other plans there, but still a fantastic run from Raynor. So I absolutely recommend watching the VOD. Very, very close ZVP, very, very tight ZVT, and then a very, very close ZVZ in the end as well there.
Yeah, there's a world out there where maybe herO is up against herO in those finals. That would have been amazing finals, but as you mentioned, ZVZ is Solar's speciality. It's where he can really thrive the most against any Zerg player in the world. So it was unfortunate that herO ran into Solar of all players. Give him anyone else, right? Give him Nightmare, give him Bjorn, give him maybe even herO, and herO would have maybe had a better chance, but yeah, Solar was the player to knock him down, despite a good run. And again, if you missed out on it, I do recommend those VODs, because herO was looking really impressive in the other matchups.
Yeah, without a doubt. And they will be available very, very soon. I mean, obviously, the VOD on our Twitch channel is going to be up pretty much immediately after this broadcast ends. But of course, we'll be on YouTube in the coming weeks as well. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Well, actually, technically, also immediately on YouTube under the live tab, because we co-stream.
Oh, true.
We're also on YouTube.
I forget that we do that. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Twitch is so ingrained in me. Yeah. It's weird using YouTube for anything other than ASMR nowadays, and video essays.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So GG, well played.
Oh, yeah, we do stream on Twitch, on YouTube as well.
Yeah, if you want to follow us, you can follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch. Again, we stream on a daily basis. We're going to be back here tomorrow in 12 hours time with ESL Open Cup America. So if you want some Korean on European action, we usually get that in ESL Americas, but with typically a select amount of Europeans and Koreans. It's typically players like Clem and MaxPax who stay up, and players like Dark and sometimes herO, sometimes Classic. The Koreans that wake up early in the
every
morning.
now and then, yeah.
Yeah.
The Koreans who wake up early in the morning and the Koreans who just stay up the entire night.
Yeah.
Like Cure.
And Beyond.
And Beyond. And we know for a fact because they also play in ESL EU.
True.
And then they play in ESL NA. And then they go to bed.
True.
At like 1 p.m. if they make it all the way to the finals.
Regardless, with that, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support as well. Yaku, thank you for joining me. Thank you so much every time for ESL Asia. Hope you enjoyed yourself. And do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night? We head to bench.
Bring back LE intros. That's what I have to say.
Oh God. Shaking my head. But thanks everyone for watching again. We'll see you guys tomorrow for ESL Americas. ! Socials in the chat if you want to support us as well. I believe we have some other broadcasts going on. Let me just quickly double check. But yes, tomorrow we also have the catch-up stream of WTL of World Team League. We have Kung Fu Cup. We have KSL. We have WTL over the weekend. And we have the SE2 Safe House. Our announcement here, SE2 Safe House is an NA tournament that's going to be going on over the weekend, this weekend, and we will be the B stream for day one.
Here we go. Yeah, getting everybody together, getting all of the NA boys together for a little bit of a whatchamacallit stream. Whatchamacallit, you know what I'm saying? It's like when we schedule it so that we're going to be the B stream for day one, and then we'll pass off the torch.
Marathon?
For day two. Marathon, there we go.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, we're gonna be helping cover the SE2 Safe House. It is an invitational tournament, and I believe Dolan is gonna be there, Vindicta Miguelito is gonna be there, Chem is gonna be there, Estrella, Epic as well, and many others. I think Eggs from Colombia. So yeah, there's gonna be plenty of NA and Latin American talent.
We have confirmation on that, yeah.
There you go. So plenty of talent going on there, and we'll do our best to bring you as much coverage as possible. It's going to be an intense weekend because that event starts at 3 a.m. my time, 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yep.
And I was just about to get back to regular sleep schedule, but I guess now I can't.
Yep.
Oh no. We'll figure it out, Papi. We'll figure it out. So back to EU sleep schedule, back to full DGen.
Yep. You can't escape.
Can't escape.
You don't. Why would you want to, though?
Yeah. True.
Just embrace the DGen.
Exactly. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, Bobby. Ciao.
Bella.